So, let's talk about money. You know, that thing we all need but are told not to talk about at dinner parties. It's awkward. But here's a question that keeps popping up, usually late at night when you're staring at your ceiling. Is getting rich a game only for a select few? Is there some secret club, a financial Illuminati, where they hand out gold-plated membership cards at birth? You see the headlines, the billionaires, mega yachts, and their tenders, and you think, okay, that's a different universe. It feels like some people are born on third base, ready to score, while the rest of us are still trying to figure out how to buy a ticket to get into the stadium. It's in the movies. It's in the news. The narrative is powerful. It suggests that the system is rigged, that the deck is stacked from the start. For many, it feels like the path to wealth is blocked by a giant velvet rope, guarded by a very serious-looking bouncer who takes one look at your shoes and says, "Sorry, not on the list." This belief can be comforting in a strange way because if it's impossible, then you don't have to feel bad for not trying. Before we all agree to just stay home and watch Netflix because the rich club won't let us in, let's look at the guest list. You might be surprised by who you find. It turns out a lot of people in that exclusive party weren't born in it. They crashed it. Take Jan Koum, the guy who co-founded WhatsApp. He grew up in Ukraine in a house with no hot water. When he moved to America as a teenager, his family lived on food stamps. He went from that to selling his app to Facebook for $19 billion. $19 billion. That's a lot of avocados. Think about Oprah Winfrey. Her story is legendary for a reason. She was born into deep poverty in rural Mississippi, facing incredible hardship from a very young age. She didn't have connections. She didn't have a trust fund. What she had was an incredible ability to connect with people and a work ethic that could power a small city. She built an entire media empire from the ground up, becoming one of the most influential and wealthiest women in the world. Her story isn't about inheriting a kingdom. It's about building one, brick by painful brick, with sheer determination and talent. Okay, so when we talk about being rich, what are we even talking about? Is it the flashy stuff you see on Instagram? The private jets? The mansions with infinity pools? The closets bigger than my first apartment? For most of us, that's the picture that comes to mind. We think of billionaires and their space races. But that's like thinking all music is Beyoncé. She's amazing, but there's a lot of other music out there. Being rich isn't just one thing. It's a spectrum. It's not a yes or no question. It's a how much question. And the answer is different for everyone. For some people, being rich might simply mean not having to worry about money. It's the freedom to not check your bank account before you buy groceries. It's being able to handle an unexpected car repair or a medical bill without going into a full-blown panic. That might not sound as exciting as owning a yacht. The peace of mind that comes from financial security is a luxury that's hard to put a price on. It's about having options. The option to quit a job you hate, the option to take a vacation, the option to help out a family member in need. That, right there, is a form of wealth. There are so many myths about money and success, it's like a whole genre of financial folklore. People pass them down like old family recipes for disaster. One of the biggest myths is that you have to be super smart to get rich, like a genius-level mathematician. You imagine wealthy people solving complex algorithms in their heads. But actually, many financial principles are surprisingly simple. It's less about calculus and more about common sense and discipline. It's about spending less than you earn. It's about saving consistently. It's not rocket science. It's just not as exciting, so people don't talk about it. Another huge myth is that you need a lot of money to start making money. You hear about investing and think you need thousands to get in. It's like wanting to play basketball, but thinking you must be 7 feet tall. The truth is, you can start small. Thanks to technology, you can start investing with just a few dollars. The key isn't the amount you start with, it's the habit of starting. It's about consistency. Investing small regularly over a long time can grow surprisingly large thanks to compound interest. Basically, you're money-making babies. Then there's the myth of the get-rich-quick scheme. We've all seen the ads. Make $10,000 a week from your couch. This one weird trick will make you a millionaire. They're tempting because they promise a shortcut. But here's the reality. Building real, sustainable wealth is almost always a slow burn. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So if it's not a secret club, and it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, then how do normal people actually build wealth? What's the secret sauce? Well, the ingredients are surprisingly simple, but it takes time to cook. The first and most important ingredient is to spend less than you make. I know. It sounds painfully obvious. It's the foundation for everything. You can't build a house without a floor. You can't build wealth if you're spending every penny you earn. This often means making a budget and actually sticking to it. The next ingredient is saving with a purpose. Just putting money in a regular savings account is a good start, but you need to put that money to work. Investing. This is where investing comes in. And again, you don't have to be a Wall Street guru. For most people, simple, low-cost index funds are a great way to go. It's like buying a tiny piece of hundreds of big companies all at once. Over time, as the economy grows, your investment grows with it. Start early. Be consistent. Let time and compound interest do the heavy lifting for you. It's the financial equivalent of planting a tree and watching it grow over decades. Another key ingredient is increasing your earning potential. 2 ways to have more money: spend less or earn more. Earning more could mean working hard for a promotion, or learning a new, valuable skill to switch careers, or starting a small side hustle. Think about what you're good at. Today's gig economy makes it easier than ever to turn skills into extra income. Now, it's important to be real here. We can talk all day about saving, working hard, making smart choices, and all of that is true, but we also have to acknowledge that some people start the race way behind the starting line. The idea that everyone has an equal shot is a beautiful one, but it's not always the reality. Where you are born, who your parents are, the color of your skin, it's not an excuse, it's a fact. It's like playing a video game where some people start on level 1 with no gear and others start on level 50 with all the best weapons. Think about it. If you grow up in a neighborhood with failing schools, no job opportunities, your path is going to be a lot harder than someone who grew up with access to the best education and powerful family connections. If your parents were able to teach you about investing and even give you some money to start, you have a huge head start. On the other hand, if you have to support your family from a young age, or if you're buried in student loan debt just to get a basic degree, you're starting from a deficit. You're trying to fill a hole before you can even start building a mountain. These are systemic challenges. Things like the racial wealth gap are real and persistent. For centuries, certain groups have been systematically excluded from wealth-building opportunities like homeownership. The effects of that don't just disappear overnight. It creates a cycle where wealth and opportunity are passed down in some families, while debt and disadvantage are passed down in others. So, after all this, what's the final verdict? Is wealth only for the elite? The answer is a complicated no, but no, it's not exclusively for the elite. The door is not completely sealed. There are proven paths that anyone can follow to improve their financial situation. But let's be honest, the path is smoother and shorter for some than for others. The game might not be completely rigged, but some players definitely start with more cheat codes. Not everyone is going to become a billionaire and fly to Mars, and that's okay. The ultimate goal doesn't have to be a 9-0 bank account. The real goal for most of us should be to build a richer life, and that's something everyone can strive for. It starts with education, not just formal schooling, but financial literacy. Learn how money works. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos. The more you know, the better decisions you can make. It's about taking control of what you can control. You're spending, you're saving your skills. You might not be able to change the system overnight, but you can change your personal habits. You can start that budget. You can make that first small investment. Success shouldn't be measured by comparing yourself to the richest person in the world. That's a recipe for misery. Instead, measure your progress against where you were yesterday, last month, or last year. Are you a little more financially secure? Do you have a little more freedom? Do you have a little more peace of mind? Those are the victories that matter. Building wealth is a personal journey, and your definition of rich is the only one that counts. You can build your own version of wealth, and you don't need anyone's permission to start.